Hi guys, I am in the process of moving and organizing my beauty room, so I'm actually not going to be in this video, but I thought I'd hop on real quick and show you my palette collection, because I haven't done that yet. So to start out with, I have all of the Passport eyeshadows from Coastal Scents. I think they're really great, actually really great quality for the price. I did a whole video on my channel, but London is one of my favorites, and so is Paris. I actually took these to Alaska in May when I was there, and I thought they were really great for traveling. They're really small. They actually magnet together to make this really cute, sturdy bookcase, so I love all of them. Next I have these two Maybelline palettes. These aren't my favorite. I think the quality of these shadows is patchy and they're kind of hard to blend, but I'm trying to make them work. I've had this Blush Nudes palette for quite a while now, and I have gotten a lot of use out of the shimmery shades in the palette, but the 24 karat nudes I think is a little more patchy and less blendable than the original, so keep that in mind when you're looking at those. These are my Color Prevail palettes. These were sold at Walgreens. I do believe now that they are completely sold out of these and they're no longer selling them. I know at one time they were on really big clearance sale, so maybe stop by your Walgreens and see if they're still there. These are actually really great palettes, and they have really good pigmentation to them. And they came with their own little brush, and I don't know. I have the Marvelous Mattes and the Smoky palette. The Smoky one's my favorite. The matte one is a little difficult. I don't think the color selection in this palette is really great. I don't find a lot of use for a neon matte pink, but the Smoky palette is really nice. This black shade is actually really, really good, and I use it a lot with my other palettes to do a liner shade. This is actually funny. This is a Dollar Tree palette by LA Colors, and I got it because I was going to do a Dollar Tree makeup video, which I never did, but what I realized is the pigmentation on these two sparkly shades is actually really great. I don't know if the Dollar Tree is still selling these because I haven't been in there in a while, but when I was there, they had this one, which is called Sunflower, and then a colorful one called Rockstar, which had purple and pink and another, maybe a white in it. And I'm actually surprised. The drawback is that they're all shimmery, but I like to use that bronze one all over my lid, and I think it's a really pretty look. This is a big palette. This is what I don't like with makeup companies. They always want to make these giant palettes. Now, you can, I guess, take this out and then use this as a clutch, but I don't know how you would keep track of that, so I'm not going to do that. This is my first, big girl eyeshadow palette. I got it at Sephora because Disney has my heart, and I will always love Disney, and I think this is a really fun palette. The only drawback is that it's so big, so it's really hard to travel with or to take anywhere because it takes up so much space in your suitcase, which kind of stinks. These are my babies. I have all four of the different chocolate bar palettes. Bonbon was all over YouTube, and a lot of people didn't really love it. I've actually used mine to the point that the case is starting to break. And so if anyone knows how you fix a eyeshadow case, please comment down below and tell me, because it breaks my heart that I can't bring this anywhere anymore. But I really love this palette. I actually just did a look on it for work, so that was a lot of fun. Cotton Candy and Earl Grey are probably my two favorite shades in the palette, but I like all of the matte ones that let you have a really bold, fun kind of look. Both of the chocolate bar palettes, I mean, they're fantastic. This one actually broke. Now, I broke Licorice, and it gotten mixed into a couple of the other shades, but it's still working fine. And the chocolate bar palette, the original, perfect. Get the chocolate bar palettes and you want all 3 of them, instead of paying $49 a piece for each of them, just wait and see if they're going to do a sale or a special. They might do something special this year because the Sweet Peach palette is part of their collection. My fiance actually got me this for Christmas, and I love it to death as well. I think it smells amazing. The colors are really pretty, so keep your eye out. They probably will have something going on again with the palettes, so you might be able to get a good deal, or, you know, just choose and make sure you pick the one that you love the most. Carrying on with Too Faced, I have the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, the original. I didn't get the honey one because the yellow shade's just not quite for me. I'm more of a warm person, but I don't really wear bright colored yellow. I love, oh man, almost a dupe there with the Dollar Tree shade and the Too Faced shade. Peanut Butter. I use this palette a ton. I travel with it quite a bit. I feel that I can get a lot of really pretty neutral looks, but I can also, with the 2 purple shades, I can do a funner look depending on what I'm in the mood for on that particular day. I like to bring this with to work for the most part because it's easy traveling, and it's really compact. So Too Faced shadows are probably my favorite. I think that the quality is great. This is a new one to my collection. I haven't really got to play with this yet. This is the Lorac Pro Brunch palette. I love brunch, I believe. Beauty's Who Brunch. And I actually got this at Kohl's on sale for $22, and with my Kohl's cash, it was only about $2 with the rest of my purchase. I got it mostly because I don't own any Lorac shadows and I want to test them out, but also because I like the pops of colors that are in here. I don't think that I could get a full look out of any part of this palette just because there's not a lot of brown or neutral shades to really put in my crease, but I really think that avocado toast, blueberry scones, and lavender would be really pretty, like pops of color. It's for quite a while. On to Tarte. This Graveyard Girl palette is very meaningful to me. Bunny is my first original favorite YouTuber. She probably still is my favorite, and I bought this palette as soon as it released. And I'm so happy that I did. I think it looks beautiful. I love using the shades Sassy Bun, Dogman, Sweet Tea. I love Sweet Tea. I have had a lot of fun with this palette and made a lot of fun looks. I really hope that Bunny makes another collab palette because I would love to get my hands on it. I also snagged this beauty on sale at Sephora. It is the Unicorn palette that Tarte did, Make Believe in Yourself, and I really love this. I know a lot of people were not the biggest fan of it, but I once again got it as more of like a pop of color fun palette to go with all of my neutral palettes, because as you have seen and will see, I'm a neutral eyeshadow lover and I love to do neutral looks. So to have something like this is really fun and easy for me to be like, oh, today I'm going to do something bold because I have like this gorgeous blue I could put on my eye, or this gorgeous rose gold shade. And what I love about it is that it's really small and compact, so I could bring this and my Naked Basics or one of my Chocolate Bar palettes, and it wouldn't take up that much space, but it would give me a way like more of a variety and option towards what I want to do. This was a limited edition Christmas palette by Buxom. Buxom shadows are some of my favorite, but I gave all my other Buxom palettes away. I'm planning on making one soon. I really love this palette. I think it's really pretty. I think the packaging is gorgeous. I got this for like $20 near the end of the Christmas season, and what I like about it is that it has 2 eyeshadows each for the 6 different pans, so it gives me more of a variety. I'm not going to use a full Buxom eyeshadow up very often unless it's a neutral color that I'm using in my crease every day. So this is really nice because it gave me 12 of them. These are my Ulta palettes. My fiance bought me this really big Fabulous Face palette way back, and honestly I don't use it very much anymore, but it's really nostalgic to me and meaningful because it was one of the first palettes I had and what I used to start my love of makeup. These two I actually bought together. This is the Ulta Matte Neutrals palette. I really love this. I think it's a really good dupe for the new Naked Heat that came out because it has a lot of warm shades in it, and it actually has more shades in it than the Naked would have. But I got this because if you spent $15, you got this palette. And I just fell in love with the packaging, and I think the colors in it are really pretty and different, and it came with face powders as well. And so I ended up buying this to get this, but you know what happens in the makeup world. These are the Naked palettes that I have. I have not bought any of the plain Urban Decay Naked palettes yet. I haven't decided which one I really love, and I know I do not need all of them. I do think I will buy the Naked Heat though, and probably the original. The 3 just isn't really for me, and I'm not into cool tones with the 2. I have a lot of rosy shadows as it is, but this Naked Ultimate Basics, I love this. I think that this is the best palette for traveling because it gives you all of your crease colors and all of your outer corner shadows, and I think you can just make really great looks with it. It's not really big, but there's a ton of shadow in there. The brush that came with this was actually really great too. It was a double-ended brush. I use it in my travel makeup bag for when I'm just going to different places. Sorry about crossing my legs constantly. Struggling to stay comfortable on this floor. It's a little different filming area than I usually do. I also got this Full Spectrum palette. It was $31 when I bought it. I know it's limited edition. They don't sell it anymore. But sometimes if you look at Urban Decay's sales section of their website, they have some of their limited edition palettes there. So if you're interested in it, you can go look. But I think this palette's really fun. It is the only colorful palette that I have, and I use it quite a bit because I think it's really fun to make really fun, colorful, bold looks sometimes. There's my dog walking by. He does. Hi, Spirit. Last but not least, I have an e.l.f. palette that is very, very old. I got it when I was in high school, so thinking about 4 years ago now. So, but my dad bought me this, and I think it's really cute. I don't really use it, I guess. It's one of the palettes that I think I might give away to my sister. If she's watching, you might get this palette. I have the original Carly Bybel palette. I think the packaging is still gorgeous. I love her. So, and I love this palette. I'm not going to buy the deluxe edition because I already have this one, and I think this one is beautiful and works just as well. Last but not least, this isn't really a palette because I built it myself, but this is my Coastal Scents palette. This is more my, like, I'm going to do, like, Halloween makeup or looks like that. I have a lot of, like, the bolder neon shadows, some darker, colorful shadows. It's more or less my, like, funner makeup, doing Halloween, things like that, but Coastal Scents has really cheap shadows, and I think they're really affordable, so I would check those out if I were you.